Good afternoon. What I've got on my table today is a engine from a new customer. This is an OS FT160 twin cylinder Generation 1 engine. The report I got from this fellow is that he bought it on eBay, and I think he ran it one time, maybe two times, I don't know. Ran it, all I recall is that he said he ran it and it sounded like it had a bad bearing or bad bearings. So I was going to service this engine for him, but as I rotate this thing through, it feels like it's got really good compression. The other thing I'm noticing here is that we've got two mismatched glow plugs. It looks like we've got an OS, looks kind of like an F. Let's pull them and see, and then one looks like a Fox. Yeah, that's an OS F plug there. This has got some, looks like a Fox Miracle plug, so I'm not really sure about that. I wouldn't necessarily personally go mixing glow plugs on a twin cylinder engine, but so this prop nut washer nut thing looks a bit odd to me, because I don't know if on those old, look at this, I don't know if this is standard for this Gen 1 engine. This is the first Gen 1 engine I've ever seen, so I don't know if this thing is actually just one integrated piece, or no, it feels like it's just crudded up, so I'm going to have to pop that loose. But I wanted to pull this off. Oh good, it comes right off, so I can take a look at that front bearing. The face of that front bearing doesn't look too bad. Get this. Woodruff key out of here. Get this washer out. Yeah, I don't know. That front bearing looks brand new to me. So, and some of you may have noticed it didn't come with the actual backplate mount. So in light of the fact that this front bearing looks good, I was just going to go and run this engine and just put the rear mount for my 120 on here, but right now my upright and stand are kind of taken up with a beautiful FF320 Pegasus engine that I'm not really done running yet. So I think what I'm going to do here is maybe just remove this rear cover, see how easily it wants to come off. Maybe I can get a look at that back bearing here, and then maybe just pull one head and see if I can get it, check out the bearing that's here, and maybe that'll be all that's necessary, because this front bearing looks new and it's a little hard to replace a front bearing if you haven't had the whole engine apart. So alright, so I got the screws removed. Let's see how easy it's going to be to pull this. Okay, I guess it's not going to give me any heartache at all. Alright, so I don't even know if I'm going to go any further than this without running it, at least, because that rear bearing would appear to be pretty new too. I'm just not seeing an issue here with this engine at all yet, and I really don't want to just go disassembling it without at least confirming. Even this bearing doesn't look bad. Feels fine. So I don't know that I'm going to do much with this at all. This engine looks like it's been serviced fairly recently, because whatever discoloration on here was cleaned up to some degree anyway, and it looks like new bearings have been put in it rather recently. So I mean, it was cleaned up, but not super good. So I'm not going to do anything further with this engine until I run it and assess it. So that could be a few days, because like I said, right now my stand is taken up with another engine. So I'm just going to put the rear cover back on this thing and hang on to it until I get a chance to run it. Okay, so before I just check the valve lash on this, I thought I'd show one other thing here for the owner of this engine. I took the exhaust headers off, and if you look in here, I think you'll be able to see it pretty good. I'm not seeing any evidence of even any real carbon buildup on those exhaust valve stems, further leading me to believe that this engine was recently cleaned up and serviced, as evidenced by what those bearings showed me. So Paul, I don't see a need. Oh, there we go. Let's even get a little closer in there. I just don't even see a need for disassembling your engine. I could take the head off and look at the top of the piston, but like I said, I think I would rather just check the valve lash and put it on the stand and see how it sounds, and maybe it'll just be fine as it is.